I have a car wash conspiracy, and it's been building up in my head for years. So let's talk about it, and let's see what you think. Have you ever noticed how many car wash locations have opened up in the last 5 to 10 years or so? If your town is at all like mine, maybe you've noticed this. I live in a mid-sized town, and I've noticed that within every area of this town, multiple new car wash locations have opened. And these aren't tiny locations. These are massive facilities with 3 or 4 lanes, huge vacuum areas, and most of them come with these weirdly expensive subscription plans. Maybe I live in a completely different reality than the people using these places, but I don't know of many people who have enough extra cash for a monthly car wash subscription. When I drive past these many locations, I almost never see anyone there. Maybe that's just poor timing on my end, but very rarely do I ever see any cars getting washed. One time I went up to one of them to utilize the free vacuum station. Of course, I was the only person there, and it took about 20 minutes to get it done. After I finished vacuuming, I went to check out the price of getting my car washed because, hey, I'm already here, I'm vacuumed, let's do it. It was $55. $55 to wash my car. Who is paying that much for a car wash? Times are tough, and while having a nice and clean car is wonderful, it's not that wonderful, especially for working people. I've seen examples in this city where sometimes there will be competing car wash locations directly across the street from each other. In my head, I figured that would cannibalize sales and hurt both of them, but nope, all of them are still in business. Apparently, business is booming for the car wash industry. It feels absurdly recession-proof. In fact, the number being thrown around is that it's a $14 billion plus industry that has been expanding every year by about 5%. Some actually expect the car wash market to double by 2030. The first time I noticed this uptick of car wash locations was during COVID. Back then, I'd leave the house for groceries just to come back home afterwards. On these trips, I'd see multiple new car wash locations being built during COVID. Explain that to me. Most people were not out and about, let alone getting a car wash. What rabid demand was there for new car wash locations during COVID? None of this makes sense. I've been casually watching the rise of these car wash locations over the last few years, and my brain went to one thing: Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is one of the most popular and acclaimed TV series of all time, and it had a big subplot about a car wash. The main character Walter White worked at a car wash before coming down with lung cancer. Once he was diagnosed, everything changed. He decided to take charge of his own life and get the respect he truly thought he was owed. Through an amazing series of choices, he started cooking and selling drugs, and now with all this money that he had, he needed a way to launder that money. In comes the car wash. He purchases the car wash under the idea that owning a car wash is a great way to launder money. He can pretend he has customers that he really doesn't have, and by ringing up those fake customers, he makes his money legal and taxable. Because randomly having millions of dollars puts a lot of eyeballs on you. Why do you have millions of dollars? Where did you get that money? Did you gain that money illegally? You get the point. Well, I have a theory that show influenced a lot of people. Remember, this isn't some little show that no one's watched. To this day, this is one of the most watched and most acclaimed shows ever made. And we all know how influential media can be, both negative and positive. So who's to say someone didn't watch this show and get the bright idea to open up a car wash? Or 2. Or 15. Hey, maybe it's even multiple people doing it. It's just too weird in this day and age where everyone is struggling financially and everything is absurdly expensive that the car wash business is booming. All of these brand new car wash locations opening every single year. I've seen 2 open near me so far this year. Is business really that booming? I get it. Sometimes your car is dirty and you want to clean it up. Make it look nice, feel like a real adult. Or maybe you've got a lot of money and maintaining your property means nothing in the grand scheme of things. But there aren't enough people doing that for this to be that big, is there? The scale just doesn't make any sense. In fact, I looked up how many locations there are in a 15-mile radius near where I used to live. Do you want to know how many I found? I had to work to find these. Google Maps showed different results for car wash is one word, car spa, hurricane, express, suds. Weird names for all of these locations made it really hard to find a definitive list. But when I combine them all together in Photoshop, the picture becomes clear. 34 locations in a 15-mile radius. Either this is the most lucrative business on the entire planet, or this is a money laundering scheme. That is the root of my conspiracy theory. I think the exploding car wash industry is a sham. I don't believe it for a second. So this got my brain thinking, what other business is in every major city and every small town? My brain instantly went to McDonald's. You can't go far without seeing one of these. So how many McDonald's are in that same 15-mile radius as the 34 car wash locations? You ready for this? 20. 20 McDonald's in the same radius as the 34 car washes. So there are 14 more car washes in this area than there are McDonald's. Apparently these massive car wash locations are dominating McDonald's. Why own a fast food restaurant when you could just own a car wash location? Like all those articles keep pointing out, everyone knows people have so much leftover stimulus money to throw around these days. I'm just not buying it. I started looking online to learn more about this rising industry, and I found article after article. In fact, one Bloomberg article talked about a town in Ohio that had 4 car washes in a 1.5 mile stretch. It got so bad that the town introduced a moratorium on new car wash businesses. Their mayor even said, "A car wash does not provide a lot of jobs for the community, and they take up a lot of space. If you want to invest your dollars into a car wash, then God bless you. But at the same time, I'm responsible for 17,500 people, and I have to be cognizant of their wishes." Can you believe that? This weird trend even has mayors working to stop them from sprouting up. In fact, I found out that there are certain towns and states in America that have enacted saturation bans to stop the popping up of these car washes. It's not just an eyesore, it's actually hurting towns. Now, the only argument that I've heard in favor of all these car washes and their existence is that a lot of these locations are AI driven, and because there are so few employees, it lowers overhead costs. But my counter to that is that you'd still need a huge piece of land, millions of dollars to buy your facility, outside maintenance, computer maintenance, repairs, refills for the machines. The paltry amount that you would save by having 2 employees versus 4 or 5 is not the difference between opening a location and not. And if it is, then your business isn't sustainable. They wouldn't be blowing up like this. These aren't historically super high-paying jobs. Most of the people working these jobs live and die off the tips of people getting their car washed. Anyway, digging further into this article, it actually talks about COVID. Quote, "While COVID-19 radically disrupted driving patterns, it failed to stop Americans from washing their cars. Car washes have ridden that momentum for the past 4 years. Retail fundamentals are stronger than they've ever been." Stronger than they've ever been? Really? You see, there's this incredible ability that all of you and I have, and it's called a BS detector. Oftentimes it goes off when there's BS, and sometimes it goes off when seemingly everything is in order, and you have to ask yourself, am I really detecting BS, or is my detector malfunctioning? This is one of those moments. Do I disregard my lying eyes and gobble up this nonsense, or do I call it BS? Is the reality of the world in which I am living and experiencing life in telling the truth? Or is this actually a super popular thing where I guess everyone is getting their car washed at night when I'm asleep because no one's there during the day? The article continues. Roughly 50 investment groups nationwide have been buying or building sites, seeking to consolidate independent locations or build out their own brands. Backers still radiate optimism over a scalable industry that can see revenues average 1.5 million a location. So now that you know all of these facts, it makes me want to take my Breaking Bad analogy even further. I was looking at this as an individual with money to launder, so they bought a car wash location or 2. But just like Breaking Bad, I'm gonna have to expand this operation. Now I'm thinking it's these massive investment groups that are pouring money into these locations to launder money. Remember, once it's clean money, it can be taxed and deposited into your bank account. Before that, it's just a financial trap begging to be caught by the IRS and the banking industry. I'm not sure if you remember, but in later seasons of Breaking Bad, it turned out that the Los Pollos Hermanos brand was one of many brands controlled by a massive conglomerate called Madrigal Electromotive, whose entire secret purpose was to launder drug money through real businesses. It's almost like life is imitating art, or is art imitating life? The article concludes with all of this, and I want to read it to you so you can make up your own mind, okay? It says, growth forecasts paint a rosy picture over the long term, and industry backers see room for more expansion. Most customers travel just 3 miles to get a car wash. Statistics have proven that while more car washes are being built, more people are also washing their cars, says Thomas Kaufman to Car Wash Magazine. Oh, wait, hold on. Car Wash Magazine? The article continues. We're seeing opportunities in German, Dutch, Canadian, and Australian markets. We have even heard of expansions in Saudi Arabia. As private vehicle ownership expands globally, car washes are sure to follow close behind. This is America. People are going to make money, and they figured out how to make money with a car wash. Oh, I'm sure they did. Is the car wash industry actually booming? This seems to be either the most speculative market in America right now, or there's a lot of fraud going on right now, or people just love getting their car washed. A lot. Even more so than eating McDonald's. Until next time, never stop searching.